Chinese torture joke, ethnic archive jokes. Chinese torture. A man is out in the Chinese wilderness and he's hopelessly lost. It's been nearly 3 weeks since he's eaten anything besides what he could forage, and he's been reduced to sleeping in caves and under trees. One afternoon he comes upon an old mansion in the woods. It has vines covering most of it, and the man can't see any other buildings in the area. However, he sees smoke coming out of the chimney, implying someone is home. He knocks on the door and a bearded old man answers. The old man squints his eyes and says, "What do you want?" The young man says, "I've been lost for the past 3 weeks and haven't had a decent meal or sleep since that time. I would be most gracious if I could have a meal and sleep in your house for a night." The old Chinese man says, "I'll let you come in on one condition: you cannot mess around with my granddaughter." The man, exhausted and hungry, readily agrees, saying, "I promise I won't cause you any trouble. I'll be on my way tomorrow morning." The old Chinese man replies, "Okay, but if I do catch you, then I'll give you the 3 worst Chinese torture tests ever known to man." "Agreed," the man said as he entered the old house. Besides, he thought to himself, what kind of woman would live out in the wilderness all her life? That night, when the man came to eat after cleaning up, he saw how beautiful the granddaughter was. She was an absolute pearl, and while he had only been lost 3 weeks, it had been many, many months without companionship. As the girl explained, she had only seen the occasional monk besides her grandfather. They both couldn't keep their eyes off each other throughout the meal. Later that night, the man snuck into the girl's bedroom and they had quite a time, but had kept the noise down to a minimum. When their love act was finished, the man crept back to his room thinking to himself, any 3 torture tests would be worth it after that experience. The next morning the man awoke and felt something heavy pressing on him. He opened his eyes and there was a huge rock on his chest. On the rock was a sign saying, "First Chinese torture test, 50 kilograms rock on your chest." What a lame torture test, the man thought to himself as he got up and walked over to the window. He opened the shutter and threw the rock out. On the backside of the rock was another sign saying, "Second worst Chinese torture test. Rock tied to right testicle." The man, seeing the rock was too far out the window to be grabbed, jumped out the window after the rock. Outside the window was a third sign saying, "Third worst Chinese torture test, left testicle tied to bedpost." By SCOTT21.